tea and got people upset. So we're gonna play that. And give a reaction to it tonight. Everybody's gonna go on this round either. It'll be Mia, Kamal, and King that'll be responding this time, and Gray. So let me play the clip now.
It's a shame. I really do believe, look, I think black people are not irredeemable, but there just needs to be brutal honesty. It's like, look, these black people are really struggling and they're turning into these maniacs. It seems like they don't do anything right. They're obnoxious, they're rude, they're inconsiderate, aggressive, cruel. And, you know, look, nobody hates black people for being black. If there are people like that, I think that's exceedingly rare. And I don't consider myself one of them. The reason that people have negative attitudes about black people is because most people's interactions with black people are negative. Most people's interactions with black people is when you're stuck in traffic and you see a Nissan Altima speeding down the shoulder. And you say, what the fuck? You're not supposed to do that. If everybody did that, it would just be another lane. And
Nissan Altima drivers mad.
But it's like these people have no respect
my
for
first car
decorum.
being a
They think
Nissan
the rules
Maxima,
don't apply to
though.
them. They have
And
no
I do
respect for
speed
society.
with loud
Me
music.
too. I had a
Like
Nissan.
their interaction is they are a waiter and they wait on a black table and the black people don't tip and they're fucking rude.
Yep.
Like that's most people's interactions.
Right,
It's
well,
stuff like
I will
that.
say that
they
black
go to the
people in tipping
DMV
is true,
and they
'cause
see a
I
black
called my
person
dad
behind the
out for
counter
being
and
a
they say,
bad
"Oh, here
tipper.
we go," and the person's
My mama
rude.
don't tip either, Mia.
Now it just goes to show people are not
I call
racist.
my
It goes to
daddy
show
out.
people don't like people that are
She ain't
rude.
considered they're black though,
That
so I don't know. Does that
It's
count?
unpleasant. People want to be treated with consideration and respect. And it is true that black people are, in this day and age, unfortunately, seem to have very low moral character. It's not even just the violence. I mean, the violence is pretty striking. If you live your life and you know that you're going to be mugged by black people, it kind of colors your opinion or perception of black people, wouldn't you say? If 99% of the carjackings and stabbings and shootings that you see in Chicago are by black people, when you're walking down the street late at night, guess what you're looking for? Black people.
Black people.
And you equate that with danger. And it doesn't take a lot of them to spoil the whole bunch like that. And we just want black people to take accountability and say, look, I'm not a bad person. I'm not a bad person. It just seems that every time I encounter you people, for the most part, it's negative. And sometimes extremely negative. Like I could get a gun in my face.
That's true.
You know? That's a problem. And people go, well, you are just loaded up with hatred and racism. It's
I
like,
don't know,
I'm really not.
but
I'm a really friendly person.
The person that came to kill
I'm a really
him was
polite,
white.
friendly person. I give everybody a chance. But if I'm someplace and I see some black person walking in with their pants sagging and they can't articulate what their problem is or what they need, and they're rude and they're aggressive, and I'm in fear for my life, like, yeah, I have a problem with all of that.
This is absolutely disgusting.
And people go, and these black people go, well, you're racist, you're racist. It's like
the reality.
No, I just hate inconsiderate behavior.
Because
it is reality.
If black people were super well behaved, we would be racist in the other direction. We'd say black people, oh, yes, dude, yes. My day is about to turn around for the better. What can I help you with, sir? Please come right on in. Man, what a relief to see you here. You're a sight for sore eyes. If black people were known for being the best, then we would be racist in the other direction. Oh, finally.
Oh man, okay. I'm not trying to trigger anybody, but before I let Mia go first, the irony of it is that person that came to kill him was a white person. I'm just saying, I'm just throwing that out there. I'm just throwing out the irony on the person that came to kill him was a white T. But Mia, you can go first.
Oh my God. I cannot with him. He is like the combination of every bad propagandized movie, radio, newspaper article for the last 60 years have commenced into one individual. I mean, the math of it is the majority of Black Americans are actually middle class, if not higher class. So why is their terrible lie that we are all live in the ghetto? We don't, or we live in the hood. We absolutely don't. Legitimately, 80% of Black Americans are middle class. Most of us are educated of some sort, whether it's an associate's, whether it's a bachelor's. I mean, what is going on here? It's like this man just took and ate like a fat kid eating cheesecake, every bad lie he's ever heard on Black people. It's like so crazy to me. And like people like him propagate this narrative, like this negative narrative of us. And I feel like they do it on purpose because they're definitely being paid because that is so crazy. I mean, you can go to any typical normal Black American in the United States and you're going to have a good encounter. We're some of the nicest, kindest, warmest people. We will literally feed an entire neighborhood and make sure people are safe. I just hate this lie that's constantly perpetuated about us by people like him. And they keep spreading this false narrative that they can't back up. The majority of food stamps, TNF, and all of that are utilized by Caucasian families. So why do we always get this label when we don't even use the majority of these benefits? Sorry, I feel very strongly about this. I just don't like him.
You feel very strongly. You're completely wrong in everything you said. I mean, here's what I'm getting from both King and Mia. Suburban Black kids that probably got bullied in the hood and they got moved out to the suburbs and they think like the suburban Black kids are around in like their private school or their public school where like this is actually Black people. They've probably never been to Detroit. They've never been to anywhere in Chicago, never went to anywhere like Baton Rouge or Baltimore, predominantly Black areas which have a high amount of crime. Yes, you know, white people are on more government benefits in the totality. Yes, there are more white people committing crime in totality, but per capita, there are more Black people committing crime. You're more likely to come across a Black person committing crime and have these issues. So the thing is, it's a part of our culture. We have a shitty culture. Black culture is shit. Black culture 20 years ago, in terms of our music and how we expressed ourselves, how we carried ourselves, was a lot better compared to what it is today. We don't raise good children. We don't raise decent households. We have destructive households filled with angry Black women raising single children. We have Black men who are weak and effeminate, who've been raised by single mothers. Who have no understanding of leadership, of order, of any kind of stability. And then we get mad when someone else says, I focus more when other minorities say it. I don't even focus when white people say it because we already know that white people are going to have this opinion because there's a shared history and connection that we have with white people in this country. When other people come over here to this country, especially Africans that come over here, and they have these opinions of Black people, that speaks volume. When Black people go overseas, you know, I've talked to a lot of Black people in the military who've gone overseas and they look at, you know, how other Black people act or how they're treated. Big difference. It's a big difference of how we're treated abroad because of how we're represented here. Black people get the shit that they get because of how we represent ourselves, because of how we carry ourselves. And it's well deserved.
I'm going to allow Gray to go next. He was raised by a single mother.
Nora,
no, wait.
Let him keep talking.
There's not going to be a single person to debunk me or bring it down.
Let him keep talking.
Yeah, but yeah, it's not that I'm trying to cut off Andre. I'm just trying to have a balance. So I'm gonna let Gray go. Gray grew up in the hood. Me and Gray knew where we grew up at. So do you agree with some of the things Andre's saying, or do you totally disagree with everything that has been said?
If you're talking about the streets is gonna be the streets. I mean, like, we got gangster stuff, people gonna be hood. That we have that. But the reality of what a white person says that this is going to happen to them. Most people know the people that assault them, especially with violence. It's mostly someone knows. This is Black people doing this to Black people. If a random white person gets attacked, they probably were buying drugs in the hood or knew somebody or something. So, like, this is just a bigger issue with, like, probably drugs and most likely poverty and people trying to, like, come up. I mean, like, you put people in an impoverished situation, they go do what they got to do to make money. And that's what it is. So, I mean, like, that's what Black people doing. And over women too. So sometimes they just mad at each other over girls. So, I mean, there is violence and it happens.
Kamal, what's your thoughts?
I want to make sure I can get in there. I got something to say too.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna have Kamal go first, and then I'll let you go, King. Okay.
Well, first of all, fuck Nick Fuentes. We know how this honky think. Who gives a fuck about him? Andre, where are you from?
Detroit, Michigan, man. Born and raised, currently living here.
Okay. What's your lineage?
See, are you an FBA? Are you a Turk Nasheed type?
Don't worry about it. I'm asking you.
I'm asking the question because here's why I'm asking this question. Is
You're not going to answer.
Why does that? I'm going to answer the question. Hold on, guy.
I'm getting clarification.
I'm going to answer the question because it doesn't matter. My family's been here since 1740. I'm descendant of slaves. My family's been here for a very long time. So there's nothing you're going to say along those lines where I know you're going to go.
Hey, that's your answer.
Oh, your lineage is like you're not from here. It doesn't matter. The reality is that black people are like this. But go ahead.
Andre, the thing is, I asked you a simple question.
Yeah, the simple question is like retarded. That's why I cut it down.
You could have just answered the question.
No, it's a retarded.
I'm trying to get more clarification on you. That's
clarification.
Yeah, because you're saying a lot of anti-black stuff, and you feel like
there's nothing anti-black when I'm saying. It's probably the most pro-black thing to say.
I feel like you got the
most pro-black thing I've said on the panel.
You think you have the solution? So with that,
I have a lot of solutions. All my content provides solutions.
Name one black system that oppresses other groups.
Name one black system. When we look at the city of Detroit, right? Look at the system of government in Detroit and discrimination that goes into housing, that goes into getting jobs. If you're white and you're trying to work or live in the city of Detroit, there's a lot of active discrimination against that. Within schooling, historically black colleges are not favorable of letting white kids go to their schools. They're okay with it. They'll allow it until someone, says something about it, right? We see a lot of that within entertainment. If you're white and you're coming into a predominantly black area, especially a poor predominantly black area, you're going to be faced with a lot of crime, a lot of problems. I've seen it here in Detroit. I grew up in the hood. All the problems that I've seen, and I've been around black people all my life, every issue that we have, everything that we're doing is because of us. And we do it to other people, other minorities, Asians, Arabs, even Africans. This is why Africans don't really like being around us, because of the way we act. White people have this very weak mindset because white people have this white guilt. White people have no identity. White people have no strength. And this is why you see people like Nick Fuentes so popular, because white men have been weakened in this country, just like black men have been weakened in the community. And you're going to see a change. You're going to see a lot of change, a rapid change, because people are getting tired of the excuses. All I've heard is excuses from black people. I provide solutions. I provide critique because I want better. And I keep hearing the same shitty. The solution. Here's what the solution is.
Where's it at?
It comes down to three things. Which is very simple.
Okay.
One, crime. You've got to be very tough on crime. What we're seeing with the National Guard going into these predominantly black areas, for the reasons being that black people commit more crime per capita. We need to be very, very tough in policing our own people and allowing crime to be focused. Combating crime to be focused on our areas. This is what we have to do. We have to take that sacrifice, right? Because we're having our own children being killed. We're having our own communities being disrupted and being destroyed by our own people. And the moment that we continuously allow this to go on and take no accountability, it's going to get worse, and people are going to get tired of it. So the second one is education. We have to reform education across the board in this country, period. But we really need to focus deeply in the black community. I believe in a total educational overhaul, not education reform. I think the reform we've been trying to do it for the last 30 years. It has not been successful at all. That's why the Department of Education has failed. We need a complete overhaul of it, beyond what the Republicans want and beyond what the Democrats want. Something completely new for this century and the next generation. And the final one is the relationship between black men and women. Black women have to acknowledge, being the ones who are the most educated in the community, only in the community, being the ones who have the most wealth in the community, I have to acknowledge that they have become the leaders by default, and they have failed in raising children. They have failed in representing themselves properly. They're deeply insecure, and they have no direction. And black men have to realize that they have failed to maintain the strength and the fortitude to maintain their position and be good examples of excellence for young black men, and more importantly, young black women, so that we can have stronger families. So repairing those three things will bring a lot of success in the black community in the next 10 to 20 years. But these are cultural things. Culture doesn't change overnight. It takes a generation or two, maybe even three, to change an entire culture. On a micro level, you could see certain things change, but on a macro level, it's very expansive.
Andre, I hear what you're saying. Your answer is very long-winded, though, to be honest.
See, this is what you always do. I give you a solution. You don't like the fact that you have. You don't like the fact. Hold on. You don't like the fact that you have a short attention span. You don't like that you have a short attention span and can't pay attention in class because you probably feel stupid. That's the problem with black people. This is the problem with black people. We don't know how to pay attention. We don't listen for any long. This is why no one has any respect for us.
No. I got another question.
This is the biggest problem with Negroes, that you cannot get them to pay attention for more than 10 seconds.
Yeah, but I ain't a Negro.
They have to put a rap song and everything. That's why they have to put. No, I'm not acting.
You acting like a nigga right now.
No, the thing is that deeply uneducated, because I come up with some dominance. I'm very confident in what I'm saying. That's not nigga shit. That's a manly thing.
Let King J go.
No. Let's stop it. Hold on. Andre, now them three solutions. How are you doing that in your life?
I'm one person. I cannot change an
Here
entire
you go with the
system. That's
bullshit. You
ridiculous.
did the same thing with Doc, bro. Andre, you on a
No, I
horse
did
shit
not.
right now.
I'm
Doc
on
asked
horse
you
shit.
the same question when you was on this panel, and
No,
you
he did not.
skated around the question. Yes, he did. He was like,
No, he
"What
did
is
not.
your solutions?" You said
I
the
gave the
same
solutions, and he didn't
and
like
he
the
said,
solutions
"How are you
because
doing
he's
it?" You
weak-minded,
start
just
saying,
like you.
"Well, the thing is, though, we got to do this and we got to do that. I'm
You're
one
not even
person."
repeating what I said, so you
All
didn't
right,
even
guys.
listen. You're
Okay,
just proving
How
that
are
you
you
didn't listen
doing
to
this
anything.
and you have all the solutions?
I'm one. So
Why
I'm gonna
aren't
go
you
back
doing
to
this
hold on,
in real
real
life?
quick.
Andre,
I'm
come
one
on.
Everything
person.
you
I don't
saying, I'm
have
doing
like
it in my
billions
life.
of dollars where I can throw at a
Oh,
problem.
hold on,
I've
guys.
done my
Hold
Have
time
me
on.
a
passing out
foundational
food
Black
and helping
American
out
woman.
people.
You feel
Hold
me?
on, guys. Hold on. I come on, I'm gonna let you ask more questions. Let's let King Jay a chance to respond and let him ask what he want to ask, because I know he said he wants something to say.
So the first thing I'm gonna say, I know how detached you are from the black community, just from the fact that you said that's the problem wrong with black people. You're not referring to us as a group because you are black. I don't know if you know that, but you are. When I look at you, you're black. So
Okay.
that lets me know with the way that you speak already that you kind of detached yourself, because when I speak about me and my community, I say me and my community because it's a group. So far as education and crime, we talk about education. We know education is directly correlated with resources and the money and the funding that is put into the system.
Here we go.
Government does not, and see, this is the problem that I have with people like you, because you sit here and you say black people are the problem, but we know for years and we know historically that we have been the most unresourced, or like the
That's
most
actually not even true.
we
Hey,
don't get
bro,
as
let
much
him finish,
resources.
bro. Goddamn. Like that's kind
Your
of
I mean,
you
point's
he
wrong.
kind of being
can,
rude, bro. Not dead
come
ass.
on,
I,
look, come on.
I'm gonna be
He
honest.
can
I'm
interrupt
being
me.
rude.
He can
Yeah,
interrupt me, but it's
I'm
not
being
going to
rude.
stop us from getting across.
Yeah,
It's okay.
I'm
I'm not going to
definitely
get
rude.
upset with him. I'm going to finish saying what I'm saying. And if he wants to interrupt, that's cool with me. I'm 100% chill. This,
Go ahead.
and I'm saying this as a black man that's getting ready to get his third degree. We know that the black community is not as funded as the other communities, because historically we come from slavery. Our ancestors and our grandmothers and them, they didn't have a chance to build this generational wealth, which a lot of white families do. We know that 30% of the Caucasian community has benefited off of generational wealth. It's people still living to this day that have benefited from the Homestead Act, which is very true. We can look at Oklahoma, where there's a white man in Oklahoma that has acres of land because of that. The black community is also over policed already. I don't think the black community is the problem with crime. I think it's the resources that we're not receiving from the government, which we need to put people in place that's going to help us fund our community. But if you want to go look at the crime, I think you need to be going to the people that's going up in these children's bedrooms, because we know that white men are literally going up in these 10-year-old kids' bedrooms and sexually assaulting them when we talk about statistics.
So I swear, I'm gonna have to crack a whip across the country to get a lot of these brothers in line, because you guys clearly don't know anything about what's going on. So we look at resources. Hold on, we look at resources in the black community. Black communities are underdeveloped because black people don't invest in their communities. They steal from the communities. We take from our communities. We do everything against our own. We're our own worst enemy. That's a fact. 81% of black business failed within the first 18 months, compared to the rest of business over the course of 5 years or the course of 2 years, whatever you want to look at it. We fail because of our own selves. You want to talk about slavery? You have all these people coming from war-torn countries that are being devastated right now. They have greater conflicts and greater catastrophes going on. And yet we still do this sad, simple ass cry about slavery, which has no effect on black people today. It has no effect on anyone today. I mean, unless you're living in Africa today or living in the Middle East, which slavery still goes on. Slavery still goes on. Hold on, slavery still goes on in Africa and the Middle East, and it's far more worse. Let me tell you, it's far worse, and it's far worse for everyone across the world. Slavery. Hold on. Here's the thing: black people, like I said, black people are so uneducated on slavery. They think that slavery is like the worst thing to ever happen to them. Not
so that's very
true.
ignorant. That's ignorant what you're saying.
That's reality.
Yes, it is. It's
it's not.
ignorant
How is
because
it ignorant?
when people talk about slavery, brother,
How is
they're
it
not
ignorant?
talking about just slavery. They're talking about centuries of abuse. They're talking about slavery.
People have been abused throughout all of human history. Get a grip. Grow some balls.
Hold up, brother.
Grow
Hold
some
up.
balls.
We're talking about
Be a man.
slavery,
Be a man.
Reconstruction.
You sound like a woman right now. You're crying about something that does not affect you.
Brother,
I'm saying this.
we're talking about a generation behind us literally having to sit back on the back of a bus because you were
No, we
black.
don't have a generation
That's
behind
what
us.
we're
We've got.
talking about.
I'm Gen Z.
Talking about
We've got
the
millennials, and then we've got Gen X, and
Hold
then
up,
we've got
brother,
the
because
the
you're
boomer
saying
generation. It's not
because we're
ignorant at all.
talking about generational wealth. Hold up, you wanted to talk about
Generational wealth.
generational
Hold
wealth.
on, King.
Hey, bro,
Generational
King,
wealth is
hear
not a
y'all
real
both
thing.
at the same fucking time.
Generational wealth
Goddamn.
is not a real thing.
Hear y'all.
Hold on, guys. Wait.
Generational wealth is not a real thing.
Because hold on, I'm not going. But everybody here know, and Skeptic, definitely when it come to me, I'm not going to sit here and let somebody bash the black community, because we also
Why?
have to acknowledge that generational wealth is also built through institutions, because the white folks have controlled the banks for years. So you can't sit here
We
and
live
say
in a
that
majority white country.
you don't. Hold up. You're sitting here talking about
What are you
build
talking
yourself
about?
up, get yourself up by the bootstraps
That's
when you
not what I'm
don't have the
talking about.
bootstraps to have. That's the
not what I'm
problem.
talking about.
And you're sitting here making all these fucking excuses, or sitting here
No, you're
complaining about
making
the
excuses,
black
King.
community.
You're making excuses. You've made nothing but excuses. You made the same
There's
simple,
valid-
sad
there's
argument that both
valid-
black conservatives and black liberals make, and that's why it's weak. That's why most people don't agree with either one.
King
So
and
what I'm
Andre,
saying
I
is
think
this.
Skeptic want to say something. Skeptic,
Yeah,
go
Skeptic
ahead.
wants to say
Your
something.
Let's let
I
the
just want to make a general statement on this, because I think that there is this disingenuous argument that the U.S. does when it comes to systemic racism. So post-slavery here in America, we had black wealth. We had Black Wall Street in Greenwood, Tulsa, Oklahoma. We had the U.S. bombed, and white people came out and literally destroyed the Greenwood area. We had the same thing happen in Philadelphia. We had the same thing happen in Florida. Black wealth has existed before in the US, and we have seen where institutions like banks would deny people their money or give them loans because they were Black. Talking about the GI Bill, I know multiple families for a fact that after World War II, we're not giving the GI Bill. When we talk about the Homestead Act, when we talk
Got
about
mine
food
now.
stamps, white people, and I'll finish this, Andre, you can go after I'm
Yeah,
done
I'll
making
go
my
ahead.
statement.
Go ahead.
White people were given the system and the federal help from the government to basically give them a leg up. But then they turn around and say, oh, racism doesn't exist. Even though after Jim Crow, we saw how the Union had to, remove themselves from the South and allow Southerners to have reign over and terrorize the Black community for a very long time. So to sit there and say that a system did not actually exist to hold oppression, and I'm talking
Nobody ever said that.
systematically, when we talk about banks, when we talk about credit, when we talk about redlining, when we talk about coming in and literally destroying wealth that is Black wealth, you can see it literally in American history. So in 2019, you saw that when we passed policies that basically eradicated racism from the workforce, we saw an increase of 60% in Black wealth here in America.
What are you talking about?
So to say again, Andre, if you'll just be
Nothing
quiet,
she's saying is
if you'll be
factual at all.
quiet,
It's
if
like,
you'll be quiet, I have all of
I
the
swear,
data.
white women. Well, I guess she may be
If you'll
Latino.
be quiet and you'll actually listen to some stats that I'm going to give you,
The stats you're
you
bringing up are not
actually
even
saw
factual.
growth. Again,
I'm
again,
interrupting because it's idiotic.
nobody can hear
No,
you if you're
It's
talking
one. Let me tell you
at
this.
the same
It's
time.
one of me, so
I
I'm
deal
gonna
with
act. One of
kindergartners.
me
I
against
deal
what
with
3 of you.
kindergartners
So
all
I'm
the
gonna
time. And this is what I say. If your mouth is moving, your ears are not listening.
I'm
So
sorry, I
you need
didn't
to
know we were
listen.
back in kindergarten.
Okay, so again, I'm going to finish
Yeah.
the statement that I'm
I'm
making.
gonna use my
No one
army
can
outside
hear you
voice.
when you're
I'm gonna
talking
do
at the
that.
same time as me. Nobody can
Yeah.
hear what you're saying until I land my plane. Thank you.
Okay.
So again, we saw Black wealth go up 60% from 2019 until now because we saw policies being passed that basically stopped racist systems from coming in and imposing redlining or rejecting loan banks, giving banks for house loans. So the fact that you want to sit there and act as if America doesn't have a racist system is actually mind-boggling. And I'll say this, and I'll finish with this: wealthy Black men that make over 6 figures, 80% of them marry Black women. So like all the stuff that you're saying, I don't know, somebody said a crazy, somebody was saying a crazy statistic. I just wanted to put that out there. And I also want to say,
so let me go back to what I'm saying, because like I said, hold on. You know why I'm hold on. Let me go back to why I'm interrupting, because it's 3 of you against 1 of me. I know I'm gonna have the most dissenting opinion on here. I know I'm gonna have the most dissenting opinion on. That's why I'm keeping the same energy.
Why you continue to interrupt her? Because your points are not fucking
points
valid.
are valid. They are valid.
No,
The thing is that you get emotional about it.
Because
Yes,
what
they
you're
are.
speaking
So
about is
let me continue to go back to what I was saying.
What
Let me
you're
continue going back to what I was saying. She brought up about systemic racism and all this other past shit. That's not relevant to anything going on.
Guys. Nora, just go to the next clip, Andre, because we were here to talk about Nick Fuentes.
Hey, it's always gonna be some tap dancing sambo.
Nobody's tap dancing. It's always going to be sad, soft.
Nobody's
dancing at all. I'm living in reality. I want black people
All
to
right,
be
I'm
better.
going to the next clip, guys. Let's run this.
Worse for our community.
Of him attacking me, and I was
Oh
like,
my
I'm
God.
better at this. And I'm like, well, first of all, this kid's really talented, like legit. And I can assess that just having done the job for so long. So it's like, wow, lots of talent, native talent. And he's attacking my dad as a CIA, his dad's in the CIA or whatever. And I'm like, well, that's no, untrue. Then my father dies, and I learn actually, yeah, was involved in that world. I was completely shocked by it. So no one has to believe me, but that's just a fact.
Right.
This was in March of this year.
Nora, you're catching strays from the comments, man.
With this child from Chicago. My dad was 84 when he passed. Like, who does this guy know who my dad is? And like, he's in intelligence. How would he know that? And
Wait, so that was his critique of you because I didn't see it. It was like,
someone just sent me this video and it was like, you can't believe anything Carlson says because his father was in the CIA and he's a CIA working on behalf of the CIA. Well, I mean, I think it's pretty obvious, and I actually feel emotional in my anger towards CIA. And I think that comes out on the air quite regularly.
Right.
And so the idea that I'm working for the CIA is like deranged.
Well, if it helps, he said I'm funded by Russia now. Since the interview, he then did a thing and said I was funded by Russia.
But you would be a lot more likely to take Russian money than I would be to work for the CIA, because you would never take Russian money and you're not Russian. But I mean, I really hate the CIA. And I mean,
right.
That's like very offensive to me. So why would you?
It's like personal for you.
Well, a little bit.
Yeah.
And anyway, like, who is this kid exactly?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it's just an accident that the guy exclusively goes after people who are in the same.
Even the internet want this nigga to shut up. God damn.
Jesus Christ.
Christ.
First of all, man,
guys.
Shout out to Buwana eating his sea crab wings, glazing Andre and shit. You feel me? Now I'm about to talk shit because I guess we're not taking it serious. So now I'm about to get in my clowning mode.
You're gonna get emotional now. Go ahead. Like,
no, it's not emotional, bro. I don't listen to people that don't implement their own solutions. You sound like a psycho.
I've done it. You're asking me to get billion. Hold on. You're asking me to get $1 billion right now.
Implemented in your life.
Can I do all that right now? Can I do that all right now? Yeah, I'm one person. I don't have billions of dollars. Yeah, you can't. That's why you build a movement. That's why you build a movement. That's why this is why I'm talking over them, because it's three of them and it's one of them. That's why I keep the same energy.
You keep speaking over people.
Yeah, because you guys are not making any valid points at all. But you're saying, like, I'm just tap dancing and I'm just doing this for white people's entertainment.
And we was like,
I brought up solutions.
Yo, we're getting back to what we're talking about. Enzo,
that shit is over with, Greg. We're not getting back to what we talking about. We on.
Oh my God!
Come on, let's go on. Come on, let's do it. Come on, let's do it. Let's do it.
Man.
Come on.
I want to know the solution.
I brought up the solutions to you. I can be very honest. Let's do definitely.
All three solutions you said that we need help with. I'm doing it in my anecdotal life. And I'm only
doing it as well. I've done it as well. I passed out food. I've helped out in my community. I'm only one person. There's only so much I can do. That's why I put out content. I've done.
You're incorrect when you said that white men didn't have
stop.
They don't. In the U.S. government, yes, they do. White men make up 29%.
Yeah, because we live in a predominantly white country. That's what's going to happen when you have a country that has predominantly white people. I mean, what the hell? Nobody even said that. I don't even know what you're talking about, skeptic. I mean, every time you interject,
I'm giving you statistics.
You're not giving any statistics. That's kind of like something we all know, that there's more white people in the country. Therefore, there's going to be more white people in power.
You're wrong. That doesn't contradict my point.
What I'm saying is that what you're saying is idiotic. Everyone knows that there's more white people in the country. Therefore, there's going to be more white people in power.
Oh my Lord. It's idiotic to even bring it up. We're going to go to final thoughts.
She didn't even go here. I'm just saying.
Andre, what's your final thought?
Well, my final thought is that these people have just proven my everything I'm saying in my content. They really can't hear any different perspective on the Black community. I give solutions. They get angry. The reality is that black people have failed. Black people are failing in this country, and yeah, you can say I'm wrong all I want, but
Yeah,
you
I'm
know,
doing what
millions of
you're
people
doing.
agree
When
what I'm
people are
saying.
talking, you trying to
Millions of
interject
people agree what I'm
or
saying. You know, a lot of people
remark.
agree what I have to say. Black and white,
You're
normal
wrong,
people.
bro.
They want black
Yeah,
people to be better. At the
wrong.
end of the day, we're going to push for that. And people like these, I don't want to say black liberals because I really don't care about the left and right dynamic of it. You know, I'm very right wing, but I care more about the, you know, the focus of Americans, right? Us as Americans, we've got to do better. And the black community is not being the most productive community in this country. There's other communities that are, of course, trailing behind and have their problems, but black people are significantly behind, and we've got to do something about it. So, you know, when I'm listening to these people and I give them solutions, they're like, well, you know, what are you doing in your life? I've passed out food. I've served my country. I've helped out in my community. I come from a family of black men and women who've done the exact
And
same
why not
thing.
fucking say that in the first
And
time?
I've said that from the beginning. I've always
No, you
said that. I've
didn't.
said this
You
throughout
fucking
my
danced around
content.
and
I
tap
did.
danced around the question.
And see, this is
No,
what you can do. You can
people
sit
in the
back and
chat
say
were
tap
talking about
dance and all that.
tap dancing.
Black people never have anything constructive to say.
You
They only have
tap
insults.
dancing
And that's
around.
why our community
And
is
now I'm
dysfunctional.
gonna interject like you've been doing the
That's
whole
exactly
night.
why our community is
All
dysfunctional.
night you've been doing this shit. Now
No,
I'm
let
gonna
me
get
say,
better.
that's exactly why our community is
With the rolled up
dysfunctional.
haircut.
Andre,
God
thank you
damn,
for
where you get
coming
your
in.
That's
cut from?
all.
Just
This is why the black community is
damn.
dysfunctional because we
No,
can't
I'm
have anyone
clowning
that can
now.
talk about
You're not
anything.
taking this shit serious. So now I'm going to start clowning.
Izzo, what's your final thoughts?
This was a very different episode tonight. Final thoughts. Talkers with Fed. That's it. That's really all I got.
Hey, Norm Chester,
Short and
you
sweet.
can eat a dick. Yeah, I'm fired up because I got
Violent blacks can't control
over
themselves.
here trying to
Someone's been
chastise
raised
the
by a
black
single mother.
community.
Mia,
Then
what's
we
your
ask,
final thought?
what's the solutions? And Bert not
My
even
final
implementing his own
thoughts.
life.
Hold on, Kamal. Goodness, I didn't do anything wrong.
Put the
Damn.
tampon in.
Not you, Mia. It's all good. I'm talking to this
Give
guy.
me 2 seconds to get my final thoughts, man. All I'm gonna say is they're all probably feds. This was definitely an interesting episode this time. I hope everybody in the comments has a good night. I hope everybody on the panel has a good night. At the end of the day, we all need to remember we're Americans. We're all on this planet flying in the middle of a solar system, and we should all try and work together, even if we don't agree, because we all got to make it work. And that's on land. I hope everybody has a good night.
Skeptic.
Well, I want to reiterate the fact that white men still hold power, the majority of power here in the US. They only make up 29% of the population, yet they hold over 60% of political power in the US. And being 29% of the population, they are convicted 80% of the time for SA of children and women. They also make up 83% of white collar crime here in America. And the US has systemically been racist towards the Black community. They had experiments in Tuskegee where they literally put syphilis into the community, into Black men. They injected them with syphilis and did not give them the cure, even though they had it, and let this go on for 30 years. And we had a US president apologize for this. We also in Mississippi had hysterectomies being done to Black women without their consent. We had bombings in Tulsa, Oklahoma at Black Wall Street. We had bombings in Philadelphia. We had bombings in Florida. So to say that the US is not racist when we had Jim Crow, where Black marriage was not even legal until the 1960s, the fact that we had redlining, the fact that we had banks that would not give you a loan if you were Black, the fact that we have had all of these dog whistles I'm talking in the 70s with the Southern Strategy. We heard Republican strategists literally say, we're going to use dog whistles like, hey, let's improve the busing system. Hey, let's give tax cuts. That when we had white flight, when white people left the cities, the inner cities, and so therefore took their money with them. So they defunded the inner cities and the schools. Like, there's so many examples of this that it's laughable to say that the US is not racist and has no kind of racist system. They sprayed Mexicans down with pesticides. They deported US Mexican citizens in the 40s. Like, please read your history books. Please go look at statistics. Please go look at what America is, because American history is a history of racism. That's my closing thoughts.
King J.
I'll say this. I'm gonna try not to leave it on a negative note, but I'm gonna say this. for the black community, there's always gonna be some tap dancing sambos. I promise you. I promise you. Fuck them. We have to have our eyes set on what's going on because the majority of us, we're not black conservatives, and that's very true. Statistically, that's true. We're progressive as a community because there's nothing for us to conserve. For my brown folks, the Hispanic community, I am tired of talking to these white folks about treating us right or treating us like humans. The truth of the matter is the reason why they're throwing y'all out of the country is because they know that y'all are outgrowing them. If the black folks and Hispanic folks and we get together, we can run politics in this nation and we can pass laws for the people that continue to want to oppress us. We can do the same to them. So I'm gonna leave it at that.
Racist as hell.
We don't need these people's help. We need to come together, stop complaining to them because we're letting them know what problems we're having. And you know, for the folks that are in our community that continue to go against our interests as a group, get rid of them. Fuck the tap dancing sambos. Get rid of them. Goodbye. We don't want you no more. Go chill with the white folks.
Come on.
Just proved everything I just said. Thank you.
And you can't stop interrupting, you fucking sambo.
I won't. I think you're an ignorant.
I think you a lot of things. Shut the fuck up.
I won't.
Put it back on them, bro. Get it off me. They going at it. Get it off. My
thing is, everybody else here has been quiet when people talking, but for some reason, this fucking Sambo can't be quiet.
Because I don't have any respect for you.
That's yeah, I don't have no respect for you, and I know for a fact.
What's your final thought? You're muted. You're muted.
Oh, Lord Jesus Christ. Well, my final thoughts is I'm going to talk only about what the topic is. Who I wanted to say was the Fed was Candace Owens. I think she's the Fed. She reached out to Nick. She organized this. I think the problem in this country is the anti-Israel movement is growing too strong and too loud. The fact that we are calling out lobbyists and special interests. And I think this is a distraction. I think Candace Owens is going to go to jail or get sued. She's going to probably have to pay the Macrons a lot of money. And I don't really care. Or they have something on that husband of hers and they told her to reach out to Nick Fuentes. That is my conspiracy. And that's what I'm talking about because we need to unite Black people, white people, brown people, Democrats, Republicans, because we need to kick out the special interests and we need to stop giving $300 billion to go kill babies. That's my closing thoughts.
I agree.
If you're watching right now, hit that subscribe button and press that notification bell to know we go live. It was an action-packed night, like we always say on a new party.
I got a final note. I do. Yeah.
Last days of the period, huh?
Go yet.
R&B singer. That's your name, bro. And like I said, I felt Andre at first. You felt like you were trying to be serious, and after a while, I just thought you was being goofy, trolling. We done had a troll on here before. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I think you doing the grifting shit, bro. Get your grift on, though, bro. Get your money, bro.
I don't need the money. I'm doing this for a different purpose.
Cause like, bro, I got a hairline.
My hairline's actually pretty good. I have a great hair.
In a minute, but I'm saying, bro, it's like you on some clowning shit, and we can't listen to a grown man that tells us the problem, has the solutions, but don't implement it in his own damn life.
I don't have billions of dollars to do it.
Psychopath, bro.
I don't think he getting no money,
bro. Like,
I don't get any money. I don't get no bitches either. Is that the next take?
I can't tell you. I don't think you get no money.
I don't get any money. I make a decent amount of money.
Me? And
I don't think you get money to me.
You feel me?
Why does it matter?
Talk over them because they talk in the background. But shout out to the chat. You feel me? Who else? Norm Chesney. You could go eat a dick. You feel me? Buwana, what's up, bro? But lay off the turtle wings while glazing goddamn Andre. You feel me? And Andre, bro, you feel me? You seem like a smart brother, but at the same time, bro, you are kind of like you full of shit, bro. Because if you say you have the solutions and then you don't implement the whole solutions, you ain't no better than the Dr. Umar, nigga.
Didn't I just say I don't have billions of dollars to make these podcasts? Didn't I just say this like for the 100th time? I have billions of dollars to do this.
Damn.
You don't need billions of dollars to implement
You
change.
need billions of dollars to make
All
any
right,
kind of
okay,
change.
guys.
man.
You
All
need
right.
billions of dollars to implement
Time
change.
out.
You guys
All
are
right.
extremely
God
low
damn.
IQ. I'm just gonna say that.
Andre
All right.
Williams.
Room temperature IQ from these takes.
Oh my God. Hey, your IQ is dog shit.
Like I always say, we do this Monday through Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Like we always say on New Party, always vote. Have a good night.